This is my kayak, and I absolutely love taking it out on the water, but I've got a problem. This is where it lives, just like leaning here. That's no good. We also have a couple paddle boards in the garage, and so I thought maybe I'll just put it in there with them, but that's also a problem. Do you see the problem? Can you find the paddle boards? They're over there behind all that stuff. We've got to fix this. This garage has been like this for a really long time, and honestly, it wouldn't take that long to get it put into shape. It's just hard to justify the time. Well, Father's Day is coming up, and I wanted to tell you, as a dad myself, 2 things that dads absolutely want. They don't want ties, they don't want gift cards. What we want is quality tools and the time to use them. This video is sponsored by Husky, and they make the tools that I'm talking about. Really high quality, not crazy expensive, heavy duty. In fact, their hand tools have a lifetime warranty. So today, we're gonna use tools from Husky to solve the kayak problem. Ideally, I would like to store the kayak and both of the paddle boards in that same spot, but in a way that makes it easy for them to come in and out. But all of those things actually get wet and have to dry before you put them away, so I think that would be good to do out here, so that rack needs to be able to roll. I think we should go to the whiteboard. Okay, it's pretty simple, but basically I think we're gonna have a 3-tiered rolling cart where we can slide these things in, let them dry, and then once the whole thing is dry, the entire cart can roll back into the garage. I think this is actually pretty easy to put together, but thinking through the materials, wood is not a good option. Anytime you've got something that's always gonna have the tendency to be wet, building it out of wood is never really a great idea. I mean, it would work, but it's just not ideal. PVC would be a really good option for this, but building stuff like this out of PVC has always had a problem. And the problem is joinery. When you walk down the plumbing aisle in the Home Depot, you look at all the connectors for PVC pipe, they make sense for plumbing, but not much else. Like, you would never find something that did this, to connect 5 pieces of pipe at the same time. But I found somebody that makes it. I was looking around on HomeDepot.com trying to come up with ideas, and I found these. Look at that! Like, that's crazy. And they come in a bunch of different colors. You can get them in red and orange and black, and a bunch of different sizes. I didn't order any colors because I'm just getting all the pipes at the local store, so they're gonna be white, but I did order a whole big box of connectors. I got some 5-way connectors, 4-way connectors, 3-way connectors, and some corner pieces. Plus, there's something else cool in here. This thing. These are actually made for casters. This goes right into the end of one of these connectors. You take a caster with a post, stick it up in there, and now the entire thing can roll around super easily. So I just went and bought a whole bunch of PVC pipe and one of these. Over the years, I've cut a lot of PVC pipe, and I've either used a hacksaw, which takes forever, or a miter saw, which leaves stuff like this and makes a huge mess. But this thing is awesome. Just give it a few squeezes. That is super clean. Plus, hand tool, lifetime warranty. So now we gotta figure out some measurements, and then I got a whole bunch of PVC to cut. That is a lot of 1 1/4 inch PVC pipe, but this thing can actually do up to 2 3/8, which is good because I've got some 2-inch pipe that I also have to cut, but for now we're gonna start assembling because my forearms need a break. All right, this should not be hard at all to put together, but it will be kind of confusing because there's a whole bunch of pieces and they're all the same color. I think my first step is just gonna be to lay everything out on the floor and try to make sure that I have all the pieces in the right places with the right connections before I start actually trying to put it together. Well, it's a beautiful day out here, but slightly windy, which means the wind is blowing all of my pipes, so I'm just gonna have to start sticking them together. I just got really scared for a second and thought that I ordered twice as much of one piece and not enough of the other piece. But then I remembered that something like this, which is really cool, can be used in 2 different ways. For example, I'm gonna be using it in a corner with pieces coming in from the top and 2 sides, and then the bottom one is gonna be the caster. But this same piece is gonna also be in the middle, turned like this, so it can connect across, up, and across the entire thing. It's just pretty cool that one piece can be used in a bunch of different ways. These things fit super well also. So that's one side, and now I have to make all the pieces that go across to be able to connect the other side. These feel like they're too long. I don't think I cut these down. Well, nope, they're right, I guess. So this is one half, basically. It's laying on its side, and all the pieces that are sticking up will eventually be going across. They're the pieces that are gonna hold the kayak and the two paddle boards. And I can probably just slide the different boats across these pipes, but I think it would be cool to make rollers, which is why I bought bigger pipes. And this one goes over that and is now a roller. And I put 4 rollers across the top because that's for the kayak and it's a lot heavier. The paddle boards are lighter, and so I'm only gonna put rollers in the middle. Now, before I finish up this side and can start working on the other side, I have to add the casters. The casters have a post on them, and they go through these pieces I showed you earlier, and then you have to put a nut on the top of them, which means I get to use this, a mechanic's toolkit from Husky. It's got ratchets, wrenches, Allen keys, and it's also got a lifetime warranty. That's way better than I expected it to be. I mean, like, it's sturdier. I thought it would flex a lot, but it doesn't, which is really good. I gotta be honest, I was kind of expecting this to be a little flimsy, like kind of rickety and flex and stuff, but it's not. It's actually awesome, and it rolls really easily. I just need to put the boats on it and see how it does then. Oh, that was so easy. Now let's see how it rolls with a little bit of weight on it. Perfectly well. Now I would like to try the paddle boards and make sure that they fit in the slot for them and they're easy to get in and out, but unfortunately we are still in the same situation where the paddle boards are buried. So we have to handle this. I can say that as a dad, sometimes it's really hard to justify things like this, painting walls in a garage, blowing out leaves, and just tidying up. But if you've got a dad in your life, I can tell you one thing that they would love for Father's Day is time to do stuff like this. Not to be productive, but just to make stuff better. That is way better. I was able to get rid of a lot of stuff, but what's left over I was able to organize, like on these ridiculously strong shelves that will hold more than I'll ever put on them. I've got a bunch of fluids for car stuff, I've got some tools, I've got a whole bunch of car parts to install. It's all basically car stuff, I guess. And I was able to organize all the sports stuff. So we got racket stuff and climbing stuff and bike stuff and soccer stuff and skate stuff and skate stuff and camping stuff. And then there's this. Obviously, I'm not a mechanic, but I do try to work on my cars when I can. And one of the problems with working on cars in your driveway is getting your tools to the driveway. But this is gonna help. This is gonna be dedicated to holding automotive stuff, and when I wanna work on something in the driveway, I can just take it with me. This thing's even got a little work surface. And they actually sent me a couple of other things that I really need when working on cars. One of the problems that I have is getting light into really difficult little places. So they sent me this really awesome headlamp, which is crazy bright. It has a battery on the back of it, a bunch of different settings. This thing is fantastic, but also this thing. This is something to work on cars, but also want to get one of these to keep in the cars. It's an LED flashlight with this LED bar that you can flex and stick around. It's got a magnet on the end and a bunch of different settings. So it can do all sorts of different brightnesses and come out of the end and all sorts of cool stuff. This thing is awesome. Now, the garage looks way better and is way more organized. But the whole point was to see if we could get the kayak and the paddle boards in here. So we need to try that out. All right, so I'm gonna go for the bottom one. And I have a feeling the rollers might help more on these than the kayak. Yep. Oh, that's awesome. Now I gotta put on the kayak, and there's a little potential difficulty. Basically, the kayak's heavy, so lifting it over the end of the paddle boards to get it up there might be a pain. But luckily, if I really need to, I can just flip this over. I can just put the casters on the other side and then end up putting the kayak on the bottom. Let's find out. Oh no, that's totally fine. No big deal. Now I just gotta figure out if it'll fit in here this way and not be too big this way so I can still get the mower out. Pretty sure the length is fine. I'm a little worried about the width. Oh yeah. Oh wow, yeah, that's like totally fine. For some reason thought it was gonna stick out to like here, but that's fantastic. Sweet. The cart turned out awesome, and it does exactly what I wanted it to do. And honestly, this entire garage took about a weekend. It wasn't a huge amount of time, but having that time available to improve something made a huge difference for me. And the space is great, not only for me, but also for my entire family. Like I said before, Father's Day is coming up, and if you have a father in your life, just get them some tools from Husky. It's an easy win. I mean, whether it's organization stuff, hand tools, automotive stuff, they got it all, and you can't go wrong. Huge thanks to Husky for sponsoring this video. Be sure to check them out. I'll put links down below in the description. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll catch you next time. So, I bought a whole bunch of PVC pipe and one of these. Oh, it didn't. Dang it. We'll actually make a roller. Let me show you what I'm thinking. This mechanics toolkit from Husky, ratchet. My bad, dog.